I always thought my life was simple. I woke up early, went to work, came home tired, and believed love was enough. I believed Lena was enough. She was my fiancée, my future, the woman I planned to grow old with. Every morning she smiled at me and said, "You worry too much." Every night she kissed my cheek and said, "Trust me." And I did. Late again? I asked one evening. She laughed softly. "Work never ends. You know that." "I know," I said. "I'll heat dinner." She squeezed my hand. "You're too good to me." Those words felt like promises back then. I trusted her when she said she had meetings. I trusted her when she traveled for business. I trusted her locked phone and silent notifications. Love, to me, meant not asking questions. It meant believing without proof. I told myself that doubt was poison. My friend Mark didn't agree. "She feels distant," he said when we met for coffee. "She's busy," I replied. "She's building her career." Mark frowned. "Busy doesn't mean cold." "She's tired," I said. "Anyone would be." "You defend her too fast," he warned. I smiled. "That's what fiancés do." Mark sighed. "Just don't ignore your gut." "My gut loves her," I said and changed the subject. At home, Lena sat beside me on the couch, scrolling her phone. "What are you smiling at?" I asked. "Just work stuff," she said quickly. I nodded. "You look happy." She leaned on my shoulder. "I am. With you." Those moments felt real. They felt safe. I held on to them like anchors. We talked about the wedding often. "Small ceremony," she said. "Nothing flashy." "As long as it's you," I replied. She smiled without looking at me. "You always say that." "Because it's true." She hummed and typed faster. "Sometimes I imagined our future in quiet pieces. A small apartment. Sunday breakfast. Stability. Loyalty. I wanted a simple love, the kind that lasts because it's honest." Mark kept pushing. "You sure she's okay?" he asked over the phone. "She's fine," I snapped. "Stop doubting her." "I'm worried about you," he said. "I don't need worry. I need faith." There was a pause. "Faith shouldn't hurt," Mark said. "It doesn't," I replied, but my voice shook. The night before my birthday, Lena kissed me quickly. "Early meeting tomorrow," she said. "Tomorrow's my birthday," I reminded her. She froze, then laughed. "Of course it is. I'm just tired." "It's okay," I said. "We'll celebrate later." The next morning she sat across from me, smiling at her phone. "Good news?" I asked. She grinned. "You could say that." She never said my name. She never looked up. And she never said happy birthday. I sat there longer, waiting. "Aren't you forgetting something?" I asked. She glanced at me. "What do you mean?" "Nothing," I said, forcing a smile. She checked her watch. "I'm late." "For work?" I asked. "Yes," she said, already standing. "Tonight then?" I said. "Just dinner?" She hesitated. "I'll see." The door closed softly. Mark called an hour later. "How was your birthday?" he asked. "It's tomorrow," I lied. Silence followed. "Don't lie to me," he said. "I heard it in your voice." "She forgot," I whispered. Mark cursed. "That's not small." "She's busy," I said again. "Stop saying that," he snapped. "You deserve better." "I deserve her," I replied. "Why?" he asked. "Because I love her." Love sounded thinner when I said it out loud. That night, Lena texted. "Sorry, crazy day." I typed back, "It's okay." My finger hovered, wanting to add more. Happy birthday to me, I thought. I put the phone down and stared at the ceiling. Trust means patience, I told myself. But patience felt a lot like loneliness. I closed my eyes. "Love is trust," I whispered to the room. The room didn't answer. Somewhere her phone buzzed again. I wondered who made her smile. I told myself not to ask. Tomorrow would be better. It had to be. I stayed awake until dawn. When she finally came home, I pretended to sleep. She brushed past me without a word. I held my breath. Something was breaking. I just didn't know it yet. And that was how my doubt began. Quiet. Smiling. Ignored. I chose to believe. I chose her. That choice would cost me everything. I just didn't know it yet. And I kept trusting anyway. Because love felt safer than truth. Back then, at least, I was wrong. I didn't mean to find it. That's what I keep telling myself. If I hadn't been looking for the charger, if I hadn't checked the drawer, if I had respected her space the way I always did, my life would still be simple. Instead, my fingers touched a phone I didn't recognize. "Why do you have two?" I whispered, though she wasn't home. The screen lit up when I pressed the button. No lock. No password. That scared me more than anything. It felt like the phone was waiting for me. Don't, I told myself. Put it back. My hand didn't listen. A name flashed at the top of the screen. Evan. A heart emoji. My chest tightened. Who are you? I asked the empty room. I opened the messages. My hands shook so hard I had to sit down. I miss you already. Tonight was perfect. Can't wait to see you again. That's not work, I said out loud. I scrolled faster like speed could make it less real. Photos appeared. Not dirty. Worse. Smiles. Dinners. Her head tilted the way she never did with me. You never smile like that, I whispered. A voice message waited. I stared at it for a long time. Just one, I told myself. Then stop. I pressed play. I feel safe with you, her voice said. You make me feel powerful. Powerful. She never used that word with me. Another message played. I hate pretending all day, she said softly. But with you I can be myself. I laughed once, sharp and broken. So who am I sleeping next to every night? My throat burned. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't breathe. I opened her social media app. It wasn't the one I knew. Different username. Different photos. Different Lena. She doesn't even exist, I whispered. Not for me. Her bio read, living honestly. No compromises. Honestly? I said. You call this honest? More messages loaded. Evan again. You deserve better than him. One day you won't have to hide. I slammed the phone down. Hide from who? I picked it up again. I couldn't stop. His profile opened. Suits. Cars. Conferences. Confidence. Everything I wasn't. So that's him, I said. The upgrade. My reflection stared back at me from the black screen. I didn't recognize myself. You said you loved me, I whispered. You looked me in the eyes. I played another voice note. I can't wait to build something real with you, she told him. Something real. I pressed my palm to my chest. My heart felt like it was tearing itself apart. No, I said. This isn't real. But it was. I sat there for a long time, listening to their words like a stranger spying on his own life. I should confront you, I muttered. I should scream. I imagined her face. Excuses. Tears. Don't do it, I told myself. I needed to understand first. I texted Mark without thinking. Can you talk? He replied immediately. What's wrong? I typed, then erased, then typed again. I found something. What kind of something? I stared at the phone in my hand. The kind that breaks people, I thought. I'll explain later, I typed. I need time. Be careful, he replied. I shut the hidden phone off and placed it exactly where I found it. My legs felt weak as I stood. I won't confront you, I said to the silence. Not yet. I needed to know how deep this went. How long I'd been a fool. I needed to survive the truth before it destroyed me. The door opened. Lena walked in smiling. Hey, she said. You look tired. Long day, I replied. She kissed my cheek. I'll shower. I watched her walk away, my heart screaming. Who are you? I whispered. She didn't hear me. I sat down slowly. I would watch. I would listen. I would learn. And when I finally spoke, it wouldn't be in anger. It would be in control. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. And I had just opened the door. Loving her after that felt like standing in a burning room and pretending the heat was normal. Every morning Lena smiled and said, You're quiet lately. I always answered, just tired. She nodded, satisfied like my silence solved everything. At dinner she asked, Did you eat at work? No, I said. I told you not to skip meals, she replied, scrolling her phone. I know. She didn't look up. I worry about you. I almost laughed. Instead I asked, Do you still love me? She paused. Why would you ask that? Just asking. She smiled. Of course I do. Those words landed like glass in my chest. At night she leaned close and whispered, I'm exhausted. Sometimes she added, Big day tomorrow? I wondered if Evan was part of those days. I never asked. Questions felt useless now. One evening she said, You don't talk much anymore. You talk enough for both of us, I replied. She frowned. That's not fair. What's fair? I asked. She sighed. I don't want to fight. We're not fighting, I said. We're just quiet. Silence followed. It sat between us like a third person. I started hating mirrors. Every time I saw myself, I thought, Is this the man she lies to? Is this the man she comes home to when she's done being powerful somewhere else? I met Mark for coffee. You look hollow, he said. I'm fine. That's a lie, he replied. I stirred my drink. If I tell you something you can't fix it. Try me. I shook my head. Not yet. Mark leaned forward. You're breaking. I've been broken before, I said. This feels worse. Does she know? Know what? I asked. That she's hurting you. I smiled bitterly. She doesn't even know herself. Mark exhaled slowly. Talk to me when you're ready. I don't know if I ever will. At home, Lena dropped her bag and said, We need to talk. My heart jumped. About what? About us, she said casually. You're distant. You're busy, I replied. That's not the same thing, she said. Isn't it? I asked. She crossed her arms. You're acting insecure. I swallowed. Do I have a reason to be? She laughed once. You're imagining things. That laugh hurt more than the truth. She kissed my cheek. Don't overthink. Overthinking was all I had left. That night she said, I love you, before turning away. I stared at her back and thought, who are you talking to? My thoughts grew darker. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe I never was. Maybe I was just safe. Predictable. Replaceable. She once said, You're so steady. I thought it was praise. Now it sounded like a reason. One afternoon she called me. I'll be late, she said. Work? I asked. Yes, she replied too quickly. Okay, I said. She hesitated. You don't sound upset. Should I be? No, she said. I just expected, never mind. The call ended. I sat there shaking. I wanted to scream. I wanted to beg. I wanted to ask why I wasn't enough. Instead I stayed quiet. Mark texted me later. You okay? I typed then erased. I'm learning, I finally said. Learning what? How much of myself I gave away, I thought. At dinner Lena said, You used to look at me differently. I still see you, I replied. That's not what I meant, she said. What did you mean? I asked. She opened her mouth then closed it. Forget it. I nodded. You're good at that. She glared. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said. Just talking. She stood up. I'm going to shower. I watched her walk away and realized something painful and clear. I had been shrinking myself to keep her comfortable. I had been begging without words. And I was tired. That night, lying beside her, I made a quiet decision. I would stop chasing love that was already gone. I would stop asking for what she freely gave someone else. If she wanted to leave, I wouldn't stop her. If she wanted to stay, it wouldn't be because I begged. I closed my eyes. I still loved her. But I loved myself enough to stop pleading. That was the beginning of the end. Lena spoke late that night like she was talking about the weather. I need freedom, she said lying beside me. I've spent years doing what everyone expects. Her voice was calm, almost bored. I want independence. Space. A life that's mine. I stared at the ceiling. A life without me? She sighed. Why do you always take it that way? Because I'm in the sentence, I said. Whether you say it or not. She turned toward me. You're overthinking again. No, I replied quietly. I'm finally listening. She rolled onto her back. Love shouldn't feel like a cage. And loyalty shouldn't feel optional, I said. She didn't answer. Her silence felt louder than any fight we'd ever had. I lay there wondering how someone could talk about freedom while standing on another person's chest. I thought about revenge. I imagined exposing her lies, tearing her perfect image apart. The idea felt powerful for a moment. Then it felt empty. Anger would make noise. Dignity would make distance. The next day at work, Sarah noticed my face before I spoke. You look like you didn't sleep, she said. I didn't, I replied. She gestured to the empty chair across from her. Sit. I hesitated. I don't want to dump my problems on you. I'm offering, she said. That's different. I sat down and stared at my hands. Say it, she said. Whatever it is. My fiancée says she wants freedom, I said. But she still wants me to wait. Sarah nodded slowly. And how does that make you feel? Like a spare option, I answered. That's because you're acting like one, she said gently. I looked up. I love her. I believe you, Sarah replied. But love isn't unlimited sacrifice. It's supposed to be, I said. No, she said firmly. Love has boundaries. When someone crosses them, you don't bleed to prove devotion. Her words settled deep. I keep thinking if I give more she'll choose me, I admitted. Sarah shook her head. People don't value what doesn't value itself. I laughed bitterly. So what do I do? Walk away. You prepare, she said. Walking away without preparation is panic. Preparing without noise is strength. That night Lena talked again. I might travel more, she said. I don't want explanations every time. I nodded. You don't need permission. She smiled. See? You understand me. I almost said, you don't understand me at all. Instead I stayed quiet. Are you mad? She asked. No, I said. I'm listening. She kissed my cheek. That's why I love you. I felt nothing. In my head I replayed Sarah's words. Boundaries. Preparation. Strength. I stopped arguing. I stopped questioning. I started watching. I checked our shared finances. I noted dates. I saved messages. I opened a new account in my name only. Every move was silent. Every step was calm. Mark called me. You sound different, he said. I am, I replied. Good different or scary different? Free different, I said. At home, Lena talked about her dreams. I listened like a guest in my own life. You're being very supportive lately, she said. I'm giving you what you want, I replied. She smiled, unaware. Late at night, I made lists in my head. What to keep. What to let go. What I owed her. What I owed myself. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry in front of her. I didn't beg. I chose silence over rage. I chose preparation over revenge. And while she dreamed of freedom, I planned my exit. Quietly. Carefully. Completely. That was the night I stopped being her safe place and started becoming my own. I noticed the change before Lena did. It started with her voice. Sure. Short. Rush. One night she answered a call and walked into the kitchen, but she didn't close the door. No, that's not what you promised, she hissed. I stayed still. You said the investors were locked, she continued. Evan, don't do this to me. My chest tightened but my face stayed calm. She lowered her voice. I put everything into this. Silence followed. Then she said, fine, and ended the call. When she returned, she smiled too quickly. Just work drama. I nodded. Sounds stressful. She studied my face. You don't ask questions anymore. I trust you, I replied. The words tasted different now. Her phone rang constantly after that. She snapped at messages, paced the room, checked her reflection like she was losing control of something she couldn't see. One night she said, if things get messy, you'll support me, right? In what way? I asked. Just be there, she said. I am here, I replied. She didn't look convinced. Days passed. I felt strangely calm. While her world shook, mine settled. I opened my new account fully. I rerouted my salary. I stopped planning a future that included her name. Each small step felt like air returning to my lungs. At dinner she barely ate. Evan's company is in trouble, she said suddenly. Oh, I replied. That's rough. She stared at me. You don't seem surprised. Businesses fail, I said. It happens. She frowned. He's under pressure. So are you, I said. Her fork clattered against the plate. Why are you acting like this? Like what? Like you don't care, she snapped. I met her eyes. I care about peace. She scoffed. That's a new word for you. People change, I replied. She laughed nervously. You sound like you're leaving. I stayed silent. That scared her more than denial ever could. Later that night she crawled closer to me in bed. You've been distant, she whispered. You wanted space, I said. Not this kind, she replied. She kissed my shoulder. It felt forced. Calculated. Do you still love me? She asked. I took a breath. Why do you ask now? Her voice trembled. Because everything else feels unstable. I almost told her the truth. Instead I said, get some sleep. The next morning Mark called. You okay? He asked. I've never been steadier, I replied. That scares me, he said. It shouldn't, I answered. I'm finally choosing myself. At work I focused. I stayed late for my own reasons, not hers. I felt strong in ways I hadn't before. Karma didn't rush. It walked, slow and confident. That evening Lena burst through the door. He won't answer, she said. Evan won't answer my calls. I looked up from my laptop. Maybe he's busy. Her eyes were wide. He can't disappear like this. People do, I replied. She paced. I need stability. You always had it, I said quietly. She stopped. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I replied. She stepped closer. You're pulling away. I'm standing still, I said. You're the one running. Her breath shook. I can't lose you too. That word landed hard. She grabbed my hand. We're a team, right? I gently pulled back. Teams work both ways. She stared at me like she was seeing me for the first time. Say something, she begged. I closed my laptop. I am. Fear crept into her eyes. Real fear. Not frustration. Not boredom. You're scaring me, she said. I'm not doing anything, I replied. That was the truth. Karma didn't need my help. It was already inside the room. Lena sat down slowly. Promise me you won't leave. I looked at her and realized she finally understood the cost of losing me. For the first time she was afraid. And I felt nothing but calm. Lena came into the kitchen that morning looking exhausted. I don't know what to do, she admitted, her voice trembling. What's wrong? I asked, keeping my tone neutral. Everything, she said, pacing. Evan, he's impossible. The deals are falling apart and I feel, her voice cracked, helpless. I leaned against the counter. You sound stressed. I am stressed, she said, stopping to look at me. I need advice. Help. You always seem to know what to do. I've been doing my own thinking, I said carefully. Maybe you should do the same. Her eyes narrowed. Are you avoiding me? I'm observing, I replied. It's calmer that way. She groaned. I feel like I can't breathe without you. Why are you so distant? I'm giving space, I said softly. For both of us. Her hand brushed mine. Talk to me. Please. What are you thinking? I didn't answer. I smiled faintly instead. Silence carried more weight than any words I could say. Later that day I ran into Evan at a business event. You're busy, I said, shaking his hand. Too busy, he replied, unaware of my intentions. Your company, I began. Things aren't going as planned? Evan's confident smile faltered. We're adjusting. Adjusting? I asked, raising an eyebrow. He laughed nervously. It's complicated. She made it sound worse. I kept my expression blank. She always exaggerates, doesn't she? Evan chuckled awkwardly. She has a way of dramatizing things. I nodded slowly. I see. He didn't realize what he had revealed. Lena was never the center of his life. Not special. Just another player in his game. Walking away, I felt a strange satisfaction. Not joy. Not triumph. Just clarity. Freedom. At home, Lena waited. You saw him, she said, voice trembling. What did he say? Nothing important, I replied. You're lying, she snapped. I can tell. I'm not lying, I said softly. I'm choosing what to share. Her lip quivered. You know everything, don't you? I know enough, I said. Enough to move on calmly. She stared at me. How can you be so composed? I stopped depending on others for my strength, I said. Her hands shook. I don't understand. You will, I said. Eventually. We sat in silence. The tension hung between us like a storm waiting to strike, but I didn't move. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. Later, I went through our shared finances, signed documents, closed accounts, and reclaimed control of my life. Every signature was a small victory, a quiet reclaiming of the man I'd almost lost. She watched me. You're changing, she said, almost a whisper. Yes, I said. I'm changing. Not for you. For me. I don't know how to reach you, she admitted. I've tried everything. You were never going to reach me, I said. Not like before. Her eyes glistened. You're cold. I'm steady, I corrected. There's a difference. Her face fell. I didn't realize. I didn't think. I thought you knew, I said softly. But maybe you needed to learn the hard way. Her hands trembled as she picked up our wedding plans. You know all along? Yes, I said. I knew. And I acted. Her face turned pale. Why didn't you yell? Why didn't you? Because yelling doesn't change the truth, I said. Silence does. She slumped into the chair, speechless. I sat across from her, calm, detached, but not cruel. My chest felt lighter than it had in months. The control was mine. My choices were mine. My future was mine. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I needed anyone else to save me. Lena stared at me, finally realizing what she had lost. Not just my attention, but my trust, my patience, my love under her rules. I didn't say another word. I didn't have to. The silence said it all. The news came before Lena could even speak. Her phone buzzed nonstop, frantic messages piling up. I watched her face pale as she read them. No, No, this can't be happening, she whispered. What's wrong? I asked, calm but alert. It's Evan, he's gone. Investors are pulling out. Everything is collapsing. Her voice cracked. Everything I built, it's gone. I leaned back, silent. I see. She dropped onto the couch. You don't get it. I need you now. I'm here, I said. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean for it to fail like this. I just what? I asked. I didn't think, she admitted, voice trembling. I got carried away. I thought I was special. Important. I loved it, the attention, the power. Not him, not really. I stayed quiet, letting her words sink in. Listening without hatred felt strange but freeing. I hurt you, she said, clutching her hands. I should have. I don't know. I should have. You should have been honest, I said softly. But that's past. She shook her head. I know. I see it now. I see you. You've always seen me, I said, just not the way that mattered. She wiped her eyes. I can't believe it's all gone. I thought I could have it all. Did you ever think about what you were losing? I asked. She flinched. I didn't. Not enough. Mark appeared, standing in the doorway. You made your choices, he said firmly. Don't drag him back into your mess. Lena's head snapped toward him. Mark, please. Just talk to me. Tell me what to do. I won't, he replied. Not this time. I stayed quiet, watching. Sarah sat beside me later, a calm presence. You're handling this well, she said. I have to, I replied. Otherwise it consumes me. She's asking for sympathy, Sarah said. Don't give it to her. Just watch. Learn. Move forward. She's scared, I said, barely audible. For the first time. Yes, Sarah agreed. Fear can teach more than anger. Lena collapsed onto the couch again. I thought I could manipulate everything. I thought I was untouchable. I didn't think about you. You made your choice, I said softly. And I'm here. Observing, not participating. Her tears fell freely. I don't know how to fix it. How to fix me. You can't fix the past, I said. You can only face it. She looked at me then, desperation in her eyes. Please, just one more chance. I swallowed. The words hung in the air like smoke. My chest tightened. My mind replayed every lie, every smile that hid another truth, every night I stayed silent when I deserved honesty. She began, voice quivering. I'll change. I'll be better. I'll love you the right way. I didn't answer. Silence stretched between us. My calm felt heavier than any shout, stronger than any accusation. Mark's eyes met mine. Your choice, he said. I nodded slightly. Sarah squeezed my hand. You know the answer, she whispered. And I did. The truth lived inside me already. I looked at Lena one last time, really looked at her, free of love's blindfold. She wasn't evil. She wasn't a monster. She was a person who loved attention more than truth, who chased power more than honesty. You've lost more than you realize, I said softly. Her lips quivered. I know now. I stood and walked to the door. Wait, she called. I paused but didn't turn. Inside me the answer was clear. I didn't need to speak it. I didn't need to justify it. I just walked away. And for the first time in months I felt whole. Lena sat across from me at the cafe, her hands trembling around her cup. So, we're really doing this? She asked softly. Yes, I said, calm, measured. We are. Her eyes widened. But, I thought, I can fix this. I can make it right. You can't fix what you broke, I replied. Not fully. Not in the way that matters. She swallowed hard. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I said. And I forgive you. She blinked, surprised. Forgive me? Why? For me, I said. Not for you. Holding on to anger won't help me. It's mine to release. She shook her head. I don't understand. You will, I said softly. Eventually, when you face yourself without pretending. Her voice rose slightly. So this is it? You're leaving me? Yes, I said. We're ending the engagement. But, we love each other, she whispered, desperation creeping in. Love isn't enough, I said. Not when it's tied to lies and neglect. She looked down. I thought we had a future. We did, I replied. But I can't live in a future built on illusions. Her lips trembled. I thought you'd fight for us. I fought, I said. I fought for honesty, for trust, for respect. but I can't fight alone anymore. She clenched her hands. Do you hate me? No, I said firmly. I don't hate you. I just choose myself. Her eyes filled with tears. I never thought you'd be strong enough to walk away. I am, I said. I had to be. Not for pride. Not for revenge. For my life. She leaned back, quiet now. I see it. I see how much I've lost. Yes, I said gently. And I hope you learn from it. I truly do. She bit her lip. So, this is really over? Yes, I said. Completely. There's nothing left to salvage. She nodded slowly. I understand. I reached for my cup, then paused. I hope someday you find peace too. But I can't stay to help you find it. Her shoulders slumped. I can't ask you to stay. Not anymore. No, I said. You can't. And you shouldn't. We sat in silence for a moment. The hum of the cafe felt distant, like it belonged to someone else. Goodbye, Lena, I said softly. Goodbye, she whispered. I stood and walked away. Each step felt heavier than the last, but also lighter. I carried pain, yes, but I carried freedom too. The streets were quiet, the evening air cool against my face. I breathed deeply, letting the city's rhythm match mine. Each step forward was deliberate, a reclaiming of myself. I met Sarah a few days later at our usual cafe. You look different, she said with a small smile. I feel different, I admitted. Healthier. Stronger. Lighter. Good, she said. That's all I hoped for you. I've learned, I said, that life doesn't owe anyone else my happiness. I have to choose it myself. Sarah nodded. And you're doing it right. Weeks passed. I rebuilt routines I had abandoned, morning runs, proper meals, focused work. I reached out to old friends honestly, not expecting perfection, just sincerity. Every conversation, every decision reinforced that I belonged to myself first. I moved into a new apartment, arranged my space just for me. No shared reminders, no echoes of past mistakes. My life became my own. One evening I stood by the window looking out at the city lights. The quiet felt full, not empty. I felt pain for what I had lost, yes, but not regret. I smiled faintly. The man I had been, trusting blindly, bending, forgiving endlessly, was gone. What remained was stronger, clear-eyed, whole. I realized then that peace wasn't loud. It was steady, silent, complete. I breathed deeply and whispered to myself, I chose me. And for the first time in years I meant it fully. I sit by my window, the city lights flickering like tiny promises I can finally trust. I think back to who I was, naive, trusting, blinded by love that wasn't real. I let her lies guide my life, I whisper to myself. Mark calls. You're quiet these days, he says. I'm observing, I reply. Observing? Yes. Watching myself grow, I explain. Not watching her, not watching anyone else. Just me. He laughs softly. You've changed. I had to, I say. I couldn't stay lost in someone else's shadows. Sarah joins me later at the cafe. You look lighter, she says. I feel lighter, I admit. Betrayal didn't destroy me. It revealed me. Made me see the truth of everything I ignored. She nods. Truth can be beautiful when it's yours. It is, I say. I'm falling in love with honesty, for the first time. I recall Lena's face in those last weeks. Fear replacing confidence. Panic replacing control. I don't hate her. I don't miss her. Not really. I only understand her. She loved attention more than truth, I mutter to myself. I loved her. Blindly. I see clearly now. I call Mark again. Do you ever regret it? He asks. Regret? I laugh softly. No. I gain myself. That's more than I had before. The apartment feels different now. Each corner, each object is mine. My routines, my decisions, my life. No one else's voice or influence. I walk through the city streets and feel connected to the world, not as someone waiting for permission but as someone claiming space. A friend texts, "You okay?" I'm more than okay, I reply. I'm alive, awake, free. I reflect on the conversations with Lena. Each word, each plea, each lie, they led me here. To myself. To clarity. To choice. Love without truth is a lie, I whisper. I don't want lies. I don't want illusions. I want reality. Honest, raw, beautiful reality. I sit quietly with Sarah. You were right, I tell her. Healthy connections, honest friendships. These matter more than anything else. I told you, she says softly, smiling. I laugh. I didn't believe it fully then. You believe it now, she says. Yes, I reply. I see it. I live it. I embrace it. I walk home later, the night air crisp against my skin. The city hums around me, but inside I'm still. Balanced. Complete. I remember my old dreams, the life I imagined with Lena, the plans, the promises. They feel like a story I once read, not my reality. I survived betrayal, I whisper to myself. I survived lies, manipulation, and fear. And I survived because I chose truth over comfort, clarity over obsession, and myself over fantasy. I smile genuinely. The kind of smile that doesn't hide anything. I stop near a bridge and look at the water below, reflections shimmering. This is my life, I say softly. Not perfect, not promised. But mine. Honest. Real. Free. I close my eyes for a moment, breathing in the air, the city, the possibility. I love the truth, I whisper. I love myself, I say again, firmer this time. I love what comes next, I declare, opening my eyes. And in that moment I feel complete. No illusions. No shadows. No lies. Only reality. Only me. Only peace. I step forward, fully alive, fully awake, and finally fully free.